I've always wanted to start making my own short films ever since I did photography 5-6 years ago. Delusional Paranoia was a big stress to make. I mean, we had about a week to shoot as much as we can. We wanted to shoot the entire film in a week, but that wasn't happening. It took us 3 days to shoot scene 1. Probably I think it was about 2 days to shoot scene 2. The fourth scene, the nightmare scene that Bella has, that was shot in an evening. We both were getting a bit tired towards 9-10 o'clock, and I mean, we both had a few arguments here and there, and we pulled through in the end. And because it was only me and Hannah making the short film, we had to improvise a tiny bit. We had to think outside the box on how we were going to make it look like one continuous storyline, one continuous timeline with multiple camera angles. And so we had a point in scene 1 where Rufus gets up to make a cup of tea, and he turns back and says, "Are you wanting one?" Now, Hannah is behind the camera, shooting me walking towards the kettle, and I'm obviously looking back at where Bella would have been sat. I'm actually talking to an empty couch, and there's a part in scene 2 where Bella does the exact same. Action.
So, how's your arm today?
We had to make it look like each character was talking to the other character off camera and make it look like one continuous story, because there was only us two shooting the film.
Did we find it difficult in some parts? Yes we did. Especially the scenes where we had to both be in it together, but it was hard to control the cameras both ways. So we ended up having to change a few parts, and there was one point in the movie where I actually ended up forgetting to put the metronome in my bag. Yeah.
That bad?
I'm afraid so. I forgot to put metronome in my bag.
Well, I suppose we could keep that for an outtake.
Yeah, take it again. So we ended up having to retake that a couple of times. And then there was another time where I walk into the bedroom and I have to try and get the box out of the drawer. He's stuck. So we were left hanging a couple of times, but we always managed to pull through. The reason I want to become an actress is due to I've been writing a couple of horror stories for about 6 years now, and it came to me in a dream once that I played the character, and it just brought motivation, dedication and determination of becoming an actual character myself. So it brought on the fact, what if that character was me? What if I was the actual one to be that character? The dream sequence was filmed on a Saturday night, and we ended up getting blood everywhere, not to mention having to squeeze all the lights and stuff into the bathroom anyways. So when we cut and when we actually wrapped things up, we spent most of the Saturday night cleaning the actual bathroom up and trying to get all the blood off and stuff. But then when we ran back, we kind of noticed all the light reflections, and we just couldn't help but go ting, ting, ting. There have been a few difficult takes that we had to try and overcome, such as scene 1 where Adam was looking at the metronome and we had to try and get the camera to slide down. We had to basically rest it on a box to the couch over Rufus's shoulder, and because I'm not that strong, it was really hard to keep it smooth and steady, so we had to try and take it quite a few times.
The opening credits was the very first thing that I shot. I shot it about a month before we shot the rest of the film. I remember it being late at night. We had I had all the lights in the kitchen area. I had the slider on a stack of boxes, and at the other side was the tripod. I remember I wanted the camera to be able to move in a sort of almost 180 degree rotation as it was sliding on the slider, so the footage would reveal half the kitchen with the knife right at the end, and the title coming on the screen. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to shoot. There are a few moments in the movie where Bella narrates, and to do that we both sat down on the couch and I had the microphone and headphones on. I had the microphone above Hannah's head. Hannah, who plays Bella, was reading from the script basically, and she was reading out her lines as if she would be narrating. And I used the same technique when recording sound. Now, in a couple of the shots in the movie, there's like a noise in the background, but the camera is repeatedly moving around the room. And there's a bit right at the beginning where Rufus cuts himself and he's gone to put his hand under the tap, and as Bella's running towards him, there's a few camera angles, but the tap can always be heard in the background. And what I did for that is I recorded the tap separate and overlapped it through all them takes. And I did that for the microwave as well. There's a bit in the movie where the microwave is going off in a couple of takes. And yeah, that's how we did that. As an overall, Delusional Paranoia was a lot of fun to make. It was stressful, but I'd say more fun. To any new filmmakers out there, I do recommend Simon Cade. His channel's called DSLR Guide, and he's basically he does tutorials. He explains the definition of how to make films, and he shows it by tutorials on lighting, audio, color correction, a lot of other stuff as well. I didn't know anything. I only knew how to point a camera and record half a year ago. I was useless. But I know so much now. There is a lot to learn still. I'm no expert. I'm still only down at the bottom of the list where he calls it a videographer. Then it's the cinematographer and then storyteller. I'm still at the bottom. But it's the basics that I know that's been able to help me make this short film. It's educated me. I just hope to improve in the future, because Delusional Paranoia had a lot of mistakes that probably only I can notice, but that's what he mentions in one of his videos, that as well, that it's the director who notices most mistakes, whereas the audience, it just flows straight over their head. But I have wrote most of my next short film, and we will start shooting very soon. I think we'll start shooting next week actually. And this one's considerably shorter, so we should be able to be more flexible around the time. And there's not much talking in this one, so I get to focus on the mood, the music, what the cinematography, what's going on, the story. And just if you're a filmmaker, you want to learn filmmaking, just go out there and practice making films. Write a story and practice as you go along. I recommend DSLR Guide to any new filmmakers out there, and I hope to improve in the future. Thanks for watching this behind the scenes, and I'll see you next time.